Good morning, all. Welcome to Farm and Ranch Management for the Fall 22 semester. Just to give you an introduction to myself, maybe you'll learn more about me as I go on, so I'll try to be fairly brief. We have a small place up in north central Wyoming at the foot of the Bighorns, and it is a very small place. I retired from the college as a full-time faculty instructor just over a year ago, and this was one of my most favorite classes. So I was able to keep it, especially as an online course. So anyway, hopefully that's a benefit to you. Been teaching online since 2007 with some of my courses, or at least half of my classes throughout that period. So learned a lot, and hopefully we'll make it a great experience for you guys. I wanted to just go over a couple of things as far as the class goes, just so that everybody's on the same page. I don't believe this information is particularly difficult, and I'm going to expect that you get things in on time, with also some grace when it's necessary, and I would expect those kinds of that kind of effort to be put forth throughout the semester by you, since you have signed up for this course. And also just because as an added incentive, possibly, not trying to use negative reinforcement, but a 92 in this course is an A. So if you just squeak into the 90 range, that will be a B in this course, and I'm pretty stalwart in keeping that commitment to you. To be honest, I probably give as many A's as any other classes or any other grades combined in this class, and I think a lot of benefit is derived from this course. It is a starter farm and ranch management class, and even though a few of you are maybe even close to my age or closer to my age than the starter college student, maybe we'll call that normal, but what is normal these days? We're glad to have all of you. We can actually challenge each other with our experiences and that sort of thing throughout the course. And I will be expecting and hoping that you'll contribute some of the wisdom and experience that you've gained. Those of you that have been in the business, been in businesses, and been ranching and farming for quite a while, or at least a little while, so that all of us can learn from those kinds of experiences. I'll be throwing in my hat in the game, of course, as the semester progresses. We're going to use what I call a portal to management. It's been one of the underlying themes within our businesses. Besides being a full-time faculty, we've run, my wife and and I've had partnerships and those sort of things. Currently running under an LLC, and it's primarily me and my wife. We've toned it down some. It was a full-time outdoor recreational guiding business where we ran about 70 or 80 head of horses and mules. We had 3 or 4 wilderness camps running at one time, and summer business was a cornerstone, and probably even more primarily in the hunting business in the backcountry of Wyoming. So I have some business experience all along that. I had to feed those horses. I mean, I have a strong ag background from childhood, and we had to own, lease, and all that sort of thing in order to feed all those horses during that time. My Um, Formidable years were spent on a beef operation and also partnering with my dad on some cattle deals. So I bring a little bit, at least, on that end of things. I've always tried to be the best farmer I can be. I enjoy it immensely. Give me a shovel and a dam. I know that's going almost back to medieval days as far as farming operations go, but I just love to be out there. And first thing, sun coming up, and you turn your water on, and you're trying to get it to head downhill. So I get a lot. That's where I do most of my thinking is in those kinds of places, and my mind engages first thing in the morning. Maybe yours doesn't. If you want to call me first thing in the morning, I'm typically up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning every morning, and I welcome any communications that way. I would probably the best thing that works. I have a couple of part-time jobs, and we run our own operation from here. I'm not trying to short any of you what your experience on this class, so I will try to engage as best I can. I don't really have times that you can, this hour or block of time you can contact me. I encourage you to contact me at any time, especially if it's to set up an appointment so that we can visit, and do this ruthlessly. I really enjoy engaging with my students and all of you, and there's no reason why you can't with text messaging. I give my cell phone out freely. You can leave a message. That's even better as far as engagement goes. I can't answer my phone all the time, can't get back, but I will religiously follow those things. I also guide a little bit in the fall, so I'll try to give you those times that I may not be as quick to respond to your messages. So you can use my email too. I'll be monitoring that as much as I can, and most of the time, especially beginning of the semester, the first month, or probably the first half of the semester, I'll check it at least religiously once a day, or probably a little more than that, especially in the first couple of weeks, so that everybody gets a good start. Don't think of any question you might have, whether it has to do with the technology or the course content, is a poor question. Yeah, you can figure things out, but if you don't, then you're going to be delayed and you get behind in this class, and that's one of the things I don't want you to do. I mentioned earlier I'm using this course. I use personal finance as a portal into business finance. So if you might think that, hey, I've already gone through this stuff. Many of you probably have used the same curricula. I use Dave Ramsey's curricula. We've used it in our own business for many, many years. My wife and I have taught Financial Peace University to many, many people in our community. And it is kind of like the Rock of Gibraltar when it comes to business advice. Can you form it, manipulate it, and make it work for you? Absolutely. But you'll probably, if you're anything like me, and that's 40 plus years of business experience, not holding that over my head, because I have learned by trial and error. But every once in a while I break away a little bit farther than I ought to from the concept of paying off my debt, being as debt free so I can take advantage of opportunities as they arise, and that also, by teaching this class and engaging with businesses over that 40 plus years, has enabled me to study a lot of other businesses and how they actually benefit, how they excel, and how they really get ahead and stay ahead. And that in this current situation right now, that's a big thing to say. And you may not see much evidence of actually gaining in this period of economic activity that you might in other times like we've gone through. So being a little bit conservative right now is going to benefit Dave Ramsey, because a lot of people are going to go back over to his course, and he'll benefit from that. But you will too. I would guarantee, if you follow some of these or all of the advice that's given within those videos and workshops that he's put together and our discussions, it's going to be incremental, but you're going to look back behind, you're going to say 2 years from now, you go, wow, I've really made some progress, or I'm sure glad I did that. 5 years and 10 years, you'll also be saying with amazement some of the things that happened, and some of the behaviors that you might and habits that you formed will actually change what you think. Okay, right now, just let me see if I can get down to it. These are the, okay, right here, and it's in the syllabi too, but I just want you to make sure right now, the first couple of weeks, I'm gonna allow you to order your stuff right online. I've found that it's cheaper and dare I say more dependable than the school bookstore, so I don't go through that, and I might get in trouble for saying that, but I'm trying to save you some money and also get signed up so that you can get it directly from them. Right now, I think it's $36 for the Foundation's Personal Finance 5-chapter college edition. The 12 chapter one, if you want to get that, you can. I want you to get access to it. Do not buy this thing used, because it has videos that come with it that we will watch, and you'll watch, and I'll be asking you about. So it has to be purchased new. And besides, they developed this material. They should be rewarded for it. I know they're a multi-million-dollar company now, but the Ramsey organization started out just like any of you might have or are beginning to at this point. So we want to promote those kinds of small businesses. Also, this EntreLeadership book, it's a book that Dave Ramsey wrote. It's got to be 10 years ago probably now, but there's still some basics. We're not going to cover the whole thing. It is something that I would have, if you want to be in business, are in business, if you want to learn about business, real business, not the intellectual, academic go-to on business. Okay? You're probably not going to get an MBA out of this book, but it will help you to be successful in business. This would be a book that I would always have, and I go back to it every time I have a question about many things, besides just business finance, besides just business marketing, besides just employee management and that sort of thing. It's one of the best books. It's actually, if you want to be in business, it's the best book to read that I think so. Besides one other, and I'll get to that for a second in a second. Okay, so no matter what, even if you don't open it, I know I was a college student. It seems like again, medieval times, but I didn't always open a book. I'm not encouraging you to do that, because this doesn't read like a textbook. It's one of those books, if you're interested in that subject matter, it will be a very enjoyable read as well, because it has so many little tidbits of how to run an efficient, well-run operation and business. Okay, so anyway, The last thing is that we use some biblical principles in this class, and I don't back down from using the Bible in my teaching at all. I don't mean to insult anybody, even if you're an atheist. The one thing that I've found out is that this book, even if you just use it for historical references, the advice given in this book is as solid as it can get. In my heart, I know that it's the Word of God, actually, that is being transferred to us as humans on this planet. You don't have to think that, but doesn't mean it's not great advice. Okay? So, I will mention this fact and my uses of it in my business, in my personal life, and that sort of thing throughout the course. So, again, you need to come to that understanding if you're going to accept Jesus Christ into your life. And I'm not insulting anybody. It's certainly worthy of all of us taking a look at. So anyway, we've been blessed in this life, and hopefully this course will benefit you. One thing to point out again, I mean, at this point you might be saying, I've already been through that. I've actually taken Financial Peace. I've been through Dave Ramsey's course. I've been listening to him on the radio for the last 15 years. I have not had one student, and if you happen to be one, that would say that they don't need to hear this again, or if it isn't if it isn't informative, if it doesn't benefit your business and your personal life, I'd like to hear from you about that. I'd love to hear from you for any other reason as well. But I have not had a student go through this, and I've had over 1,000 students in the last 10 years take this course, and not one of them has actually told me that this was not beneficial to them. I've had some students ignore the class, get behind, and not do so well. But every one of those has actually said, the little bit I did pay attention, I benefited from. So take that for what it's worth. I look forward to the rest of the semester. I will be opening things up so that you can get ahead. And I know a lot of you are out there. I don't mean that in any derogatory way, but you have other things to do. You have your own businesses. You're maybe attending another college. You have other courses, of course, especially if you're on campus. But I really encourage you to get ahead if you can, or at least take a look and see what's coming up. That way you can engage and be thinking of things. Anyway, those are the things that I kind of go through in my mind. I know I haven't mentioned everything. I wish you success in this course and in your business life, in your personal life. I think there are some things that we can cover and maybe recover for many of you that will help you down the road. So many successes to you. God bless you, and let me know if you have any questions, any problems. I'm not a techie. I've been doing this a long time, but technology is moving faster than this 62-year-old, and sometimes I get a little bit behind on that one. So those of you that are always on time, and I always was one of those, but with technology it's always been difficult. If you see a problem with the course, whether it be the dates are posted wrong, all that sort of thing. Okay, first of all, assume everything's due by Friday. Okay? I will open it up a couple days early. Those of you that only have weekends, then you need to work on this course the weekend before. Okay? So that's the deal I'm making with you. Anyway, I've made this way too long. Give me a call. Would love to visit with you on the phone. Text me or email me with your questions, and we'll set up a time that we can visit. Okay? Thank you.